What's up, Killer Vampire? I'm trying a different chat box setting. I don't know. It doesn't look like I can make them bigger on this one. Not sure why. Oh, there we go. I found it. What's up, Wisco? What's up, Feel the Trance? Okay, that should be good. What's up, Sven? Thank you for doing these videos, helping out big time. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And what's up? Yeah, what's up, Master Chief? Yeah, I've been wanting to stream, like, consistently at least. Like, probably stream, like, Mondays. I'll try to stream every Monday, maybe. It won't just be, like, a Q&A stream, though. I want to try, like, a tier 21 farming, like, test stream. Might do that next week. Not sure, though. We'll have to see. Did I ever come close to quitting? Not really. I haven't ever really considered that. I still enjoy the game. I know a lot of people have like quit or like are really close, but I'm not really at that point. I would say I still like have a lot of things. You know, there's just a lot of things to do. Um, I think one of the main things is that like theory crafting for tournaments and stuff makes the game really fun for me. So I think that's probably the main thing that's kept me like still enjoying the game, I guess. How worth is coin investment at this point? Close to 2Q an hour, but unsure if it's worth it to push any further. I think in this current version, I mean, you still want to push that a little bit more at least. In like version 27, like 3Q an hour is definitely enough, I would say. That's enough to get you through the game. But of course, we're probably going to be getting version 28 within the next month. And I assume that's going to change there, most likely. So It could be worth it to invest more just to prepare for that. Speaking of Tourney, I've been dominating. Yeah, I guess it's not really like it's not that my tower's super strong. It's just that I use like different strategies, I guess, that lets me get really far. But I enjoy competing, so not sure if I want to make the chat box text even bigger than that, or that's big enough. I think it's big enough. Yeah, that's probably fine. How much have I saved up for version 28? I can show you in terms of stones. I'm at 20,482, which is really nice. I think my biggest hoard before this was for version 27. It was around like 9 to 10,000, so this is more than double that. Also, just saving keys and gems right now, mostly. That guess reroll shards, I just don't really have much to use them on. That's pretty much it. You just took your Econ trio to a 58-second sync yesterday and failed to get your +7 GT duration to land on your core. So your GT duration is only 52 seconds. Is the 59-second duration with the 58-second sync pretty much mandatory? I think it's more based on the cooldown. You as long as like the cooldown is if you don't have permanent, you would want the cooldown to be at 58 seconds at least. So it is, right? It's not mandatory. You're just gonna lose some points. But honestly, it's not like a super big deal. It depends like if you have your golden bot synced up. But like your Deathwave and your golden bot will not be going off. They will not be active at that point. So the coin gains are not going to be super good in those last seconds. So I don't think it's 100% necessary. Same with Black Hole. I don't think that would be there either, right? As long as if those all are not active, it wouldn't really matter, I don't think. When do you think version 28 will drop? My prediction is March 26th. That's the Thursday before the guild season reset. That's what they did with version 27. They released it on a Thursday before the guild season reset. So that's my best guess. But I could be wrong. You try to push your flat damage. You have damage mastery 9. You start your run at 60 build damage. It's a level 150 cannon pulling you back. Yeah, probably. Module levels are huge. I'm not sure exactly what your multiplier is. But yeah, I mean, that's fairly low overall, I would say. So that could potentially be it. Or just like econ in general for like enhancements and stuff. Not sure what you have that at, but have I maxed all the key upgrades? No. I think there's 5,000 keys worth of upgrades. I'm at how many keys? 3495. There's 5,400 maybe. I do have most of the important ones though, so I'm fine with hoarding them for now. Yeah, no problem. Would bringing CL damage from 1k to 2k be worth investing the farm tier 19 and 20? You're at a standstill right now, but not sure where to invest next. Yeah, it would be helpful. I'm not sure. I don't remember how many stones that is exactly. There might be a few other places you could probably get more damage. That would like help your damage overall. But I mean, yeah, that's gonna help, of course. Doubling your damage is really nice in regular tiers. It does help. Like you can actually tell, unlike tournaments where they scale super fast, the regular tiers scale pretty slowly. So yeah, that would help. Question: do you love me more than my kids? I think the answer to that is usually yes, isn't it? When I see your comments, I think the answer is yes. What's up, Poetic Piercer? Yeah, I'm doing well. When do you start card mastery? Not sure exactly. When did they unlock? It's like tier 16 something, I think, right? I mean, usually it's just when you're making enough coins, so you probably want your GT Plus at a good level. Because, yeah, masteries are really good. I would say most of the time, once you're making enough income to actually be able to afford the labs, that's the point you usually want to actually start getting into them. So, what's that like? At least like a few Q a day, probably. Priority of your love: puppy, and then streamers, and then kids. Okay, so that's good to know. It's good to know the order of that. What's up, Damien Star? You have a quick, complicated question. What are the requirements to switch to mid-range reverse orb Debo? Primarily farming tier 14. You unlock the Chronofield plus 1, but only Mythic CFSR. Huh. I'm probably not the best person to answer that question, but I can try. I guess it depends like what the problem is exactly. I don't know if you're like it's because you're like I mean it could be the stats because you say you're switching. I mean I guess probably just like enough waves without like dying too early and getting enough consistently compared to whatever tier you're farming before. I mean that's kind of just the basis for like moving up a tier and farming. Any advice to counter a ranged kill at Legends 300 waves? I guess does it depend on the battle conditions, or you're always dying to ranged enemies? You could try like a high shockwave size to keep them back. I don't know if you use like black hole either. That can be bad sometimes because they can kill you there. So you could try turning black hole off as well. Do you prefer sync or permanent black hole? I mean, I think in general, permanent black hole's better. It kind of depends, though. I mean, you eventually want to get all your ultimate weapons permanent. But, I mean, black hole is one of the ultimate weapons where permanent's, like, always good, pretty much. So, yeah, I would say that. Unless you're doing some, like, hoarding strats or something. I guess, like, similar to, like, reverse orb devo or something, but permanent black hole's usually fine. Besides RPC mastery, what are other good masteries for hybrid champ performance without labs? Labbing and unlocking masteries seems very split apart. Yeah, they are. There's really not that many that are super good at unlock, especially for like EHP or hybrid, I guess. I mean, yeah, I like Super Tower. I think that's a good one to unlock. That's for the damage side, of course. I don't think there's really much for like EHP though for masteries that help at just the unlock. I mean, of course, like health mastery, you get like a little bit of a boost, but you can't really lab that. It's just a little bit of stats there. Maybe like I don't know. That's like really niche, but energy shield mastery could technically help with the EHP as well, since it will push enemies at least slightly off of you, so you can regen longer. I mean that would help with damage as well, of course, but yeah, I probably wouldn't suggest that one first. You're looking to start investing in Spotlight, and at what point of Spotlight do you go for Spotlight Plus? You have 13x, 49 degrees, and 3 quantity. Probably not yet. You probably want a little bit more, at least like 4 quantity, and then a little bit more angle. Then that you could probably go for though. At least the quantity. That's the main thing. Maybe like 4 quantity, 60 degrees. That would probably be worth it then to get Spotlight Plus. Is there one thing that you're hoping comes from V-Tourney 8? I would like to see Guardian presets. Just so I can use different Guardians for farming in tournaments. That would be interesting. If you don't have DC for farming, what other mod setup would you use? Probably. Let me see. Let me look at the modules. Probably like Harmony Conductor. You could potentially do Alm Chip as well for the damage boost, since that's kind of similar. Like to Dimension Core because you get a damage boost, but yeah, it would be one of those two. I mean, I guess depends what you're using for tournament. If you have one ruled for tournaments and milestones and stuff, but that would probably be my next pick. Is it better to lower Deathwave cooldown, increase black hole and GT durations, in order to aim for a permanent ultimate weapon uptime without multiverse nexus, or work on a sysmod substat efficiencies prior? I mean, I don't think the order would matter too much there. I would say lowering the cooldowns would probably help more to start. So I'd probably do that first. Lowering the cooldowns, increasing durations. Those would be the main thing that would help. But yeah, you would want to, after that, work on the assist mod substat efficiencies to help with even more uptime. For tournaments, do you think perma black hole is something that you want to go for? I mean, it's nice. I don't think it's super necessary though. There's a lot of ways to mitigate like the black hole downtime. But yeah, if you want to get permanent black hole, you would have to run G comp. It's like extremely hard to get permanent black hole in tournament without Galaxy Compressor. It's possible. You just need like 100% core efficiency, like per almost not quite. Like I think you need like 60%, and then you'd have to have all cooldown, black hole cooldown and duration substats. You figure maybe damage mastery is fine to get level 1, and wave accelerator and free upgrades. Yeah, free upgrades also a nice one, because that lock can be useful that you get. That saves stones for better ultimate weapons in Econ. Yeah, you could probably unlock a few of them because you get a nice boost with the first level, and then you would have them for later once you're making enough coins and whatever. But I wouldn't unlock like everything probably. Like there's like other ultimate weapon stuff you would want to upgrade. Just made your mind to give up on the game. Yeah, I think a lot of people recently have not really liked what the direction it's going, but yeah. Do you think they'll nerf OA again in version 28? I wouldn't be surprised. It's still like super strong. It's like almost way too strong still. Alright, my run died. Let me quickly... I want to see if I have enough coins. I don't think I do, but... I want to look if I have the coins to... get the last level of coin plus. I don't think I do, but... well, I might as well look. Oh, I'm actually really close. Oh, I'm super close. Look at that. 6Q away. That's like one run. So I'll get this later today. Last level of that. Nice. Let's max these out again. Well, that's going to be a nice milestone. Not sure what this mail is. Oh, yeah, the update. I didn't actually get that. But... what's up, Hawk? What ultimate weapon / mods are keeping your tower alive on screen now? Oh, not anymore, but... I think mostly Chrono Field. That's like... that helps a ton. That's probably the main one. Because I really don't have that many stuns. I'm using just slows. Also, like Chain Lightning and Spotlight. Those do a lot of, like a majority of my damage in this tier. But yeah, I mean, as you can see there, I died to the Saboteur turning off my Chrono Field. Like, I instantly died pretty much. That's the most important one, I would say. What are the best levers / mechanics to combat Overcharge? You farm tier 19 up to wave 6300, and seem to always have your shields limited by Overcharge and killed by a fast. For farming, it's kind of tough. But, I mean, EHP is always going to be able to counter them. That's like the most consistent option. But if you don't want to use EHP like that, because there is some drawbacks to EHP, just Harmony Conductor, Landmine Stun Mastery both give mischance, which are really huge for Overcharge. And then also Death Defy, which would be if you don't use EHP that much. That's the only way you would get Death Defies for your shields. But yeah, those are the main things. There's really not much more to counter them. I mean, higher thorns would also help, but I mean, not quite as much as those other things. Wave Accelerator Mastery and Interest from Mastery help generate the econ needed for future masteries. Yeah. Yeah, those help a ton. Those are like some of the first ones you want to get. When will Singularity Harness yield more coins than Galaxy Compressor? Your assist SH is mythic, but GComp still gives more coins. You have permanent Golden Tower and Black Hole with Multiverse Nexus. Missing something other than Ancestral. Um, I mean, it depends. It could be. I don't know if you like Multiverse Nexus. I don't think that would cause the Galaxy Compressor to be better, but I mean, it should just be better. Once you have all your ultimate weapons at like almost permanent at least, without Multiverse Nexus. I don't know if it's just because you don't have enough like durations yet. Because if you don't like have enough uptime to keep everything up, then yeah, that would make sense. Then you might just have to be able to get everything pretty much permanent without MVN first. That would probably be it. If Tech Tree Games allowed me to create a module for each type, what mods would you create? That's a good question. I don't even know. What stats don't have like a module on them? I'll think about that in a second. Can't get past a legendary MVN and Galaxy Compressor. Should he focus on tournaments or should he still do Econ? Don't have card masteries yet. 40 trill a day. I mean, it kind of depends how you're doing in tournaments. But I think a lot of the time it's better to focus on tournaments to get more stones. Since that will like boost your progress as well, right? So I mean, I would say it also depends if you're like free to play or if you buy all the stone packs. If you buy all the stone packs, Econ would probably be better. But if you don't, if you're like pretty much like free to play at this point, then tournaments focus would be better, I think. Lifesteal has no module support. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, the most like basic thing you'd think is like lifesteal. A portion of lifesteal gives you your like max recovery back, or you like something on your wall. I mean, that's the most basic thing, but it could probably do something else. Maybe it gives you like extra overhealth with lifesteal or something, just to help EHP even more. Yeah, also a smart missile module. I think that's one of the main ones that people want. Make barrage good. Yeah, it's really bad right now. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. Like, at least like make it come back every like 20 waves or something, and then it might actually be useful. How far in the game do you still have to go before there's literally finish to the game? I mean, I'm still not even close, like myself. There's like a few people that are kind of close, but they're still, of course, they have stuff to do. Like, there's not meant to be like an end, right? Since they're gonna keep updating the game. I mean, at one day, I guess if they stop updating the game and they keep it like running, then there'll probably be an end at one point there. But there's only like two or three people that are actually close to that. They're not like super close either. They're just a lot closer than everybody else. They have like pretty much everything important maxed with stones, but not like every stone upgrade, just like the important ones. Yeah, you've been waiting on a smart missiles module. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have like smart missile investment from when it was really good, like it was the best damage ultimate weapon, and yeah, it's just not anymore. I think overall, like chain lightning is just way better in general. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like that. Do you think a maxed out Inner Landmine Plus and Chrono Jump can do fine without CF Plus? It would be harder, but I mean, it would probably be okay. I think if you fully invest in like Inner Landmine stuff, like you have like Space Displacer and all of that, it could probably be okay. But the problem is that you're not going to be triggering all the mines that you can. I mean, of course, like as long as you have enough damage to just kill enemies with like one mine, then you're fine up until that point, right? But it definitely would be a lot better with Chrono Field Plus. But it probably is still like at least somewhat viable. What's the strategy to defend Overcharge? Main thing is EHP. That's the easiest way. But also like anything that gives them a chance to miss or like death defies, those are also really useful. And then high thorns can help along with those to kill them faster. Do you know what happened to Ben's Daimler? Not sure. I mean, I saw that they deleted their account on Reddit. No, I'm not sure. I think it is one person from the Discord, is what I've heard, which they still play the game, so I don't know. I'm not sure exactly why they deleted their Reddit account, but yeah, not sure. Moving from tier 19 to tier 20, what upgrades do you think would help slash are needed? Chrono Field Plus, chain lightning damage, second damage ultimate weapon. Chrono Field Plus is really helpful. Seal damage is nice for like fast enemies. I also think Orbital Augment or Space Displacer Assist are really good. Orbital Augment Assist, you would need like a rarity upgrade on the armor, of course, but there's a lot of people use Space Displacer Assist and they've had success with that, just like stunning enemies so that you can get a lot more waves. I don't think you need a second damage ultimate weapon for like tier 19 or 20, but in like every scenario, that's gonna help, of course. But that's not like super necessary. I also think Chrono Field speed reduction substat is really useful. That makes it a lot easier to get into farming those tiers, especially tier 20. Could you explain the bounce shot range and targets and its relevance to farming? You don't understand it. So yeah, so if you have if I maxed out both of these, so I currently have a 96% bounce shot chance. If I max the range and targets, there would pretty much just be like 8 targets bouncing and it's like killing the enemies. It would kill them too early. Outside of Black Hole often, and like outside of Golden Bot, I think Golden Bot is the large one. That's since that is a lot less consistent. The closer the enemies you are to the tower when you kill them, the higher chance they are in your Golden Bot. It's pretty much just like trying to kill all the enemies in your multipliers. But since I have 2 meter range and only one target here, there's actually very few bounce shots. They can't really bounce very far. So it will keep the bounce shot contained. But it will also be able to kill fleets. Since the fleets at least get near the range line. So it's kind of just like forcing the bounce shot to shoot the enemies you want it to shoot. Instead of like other enemies that are too far away. You'd like to see a tournament from you with an EHP build and a GC to compare? Yeah, that could be interesting. Not sure exactly how I would do that, but because like it depends a lot on the battle conditions. I'd have to figure out which battle conditions are like the most equal for both. You just finished the first Shattered Lab, I think. Is that what you said? Make like 80 trill per day or save it. If you're talking about the Shatter Shards Lab, is that what you're talking about or something else? Are we talking about masteries? I'm not sure exactly what you're mentioning or referring to. Which labs? Shatter shards. I mean that's like a huge priority. Then I would probably upgrade that as soon as you can. That's like one of the best labs in the game. Just once you can get like the coins, you can farm the coins for it in like 3 days, 2 to 3 days, probably. Yeah, you can do. Yeah. I would think you're definitely ready to do it then if you can get those every 2 days. Yeah, what you said. From tier 18 to 8,000 waves, you make 86 coins per hour. Should I pause cards and modules and max out GT plus? 86Q. Yeah, you're probably at the point where you could go for max GT plus. But I'm not sure exactly what we're getting in version 28. It just completely depends. I have no clue. So you would probably be saving stones at that point. So I'm not sure exactly. If we're still in version 27 for a lot longer, then I would say, yeah, probably go for GT plus still. Thanks, just started tier 19 and adding chrono field speed reduction back, and the speed trade-off unbanned helped. Yeah, the speed, like the slows are really nice in the higher tiers for farming. That's what I've noticed. Struggle as your wall never stays up, assuming the lack of chrono field plus levels. Yeah, I think that's usually it. The tanks can just break your wall super easily. It also depends what tower range you're using and stuff, but yeah, wall breaks very often in these tiers. Do you think we'll get a prestige mechanic eventually? Probably not. Probably not like the exact prestige that is in other games. There could be something similar though. I don't think it would be like you fully like lose all your progress and then you get a boost or whatever, but maybe something similar. Not like I don't think you would fully prestige if they would add something to this game because it's not really built for that. Just how they made the game over time. CL plus or second ultimate weapon damage source. granted maxing out CL damage already, and CF plus. 2 permanent poison swamps, Space's Lacer Main, and Ancestral OA assist. Problem with CL plus is that it won't really help with like fleets. Depends what you're dying to, but I think a second damage ultimate weapon would probably be better. Only problem is if you actually have chain lightning damage max, it's gonna be hard to make it another ultimate weapon on the same level as that to actually help out. It's hard to tell because chain lightning plus takes a ton of investment to even get it to be good, but you'd also need a lot of investment there as well. I think in general, second damage ultimate would be better overall in the long run. What's up, Synapse Reborn? What's up, Human Bulldozer? Finally got Golden Tower plus 11, already seeing a 30% increase. Only 90 stones away from GT plus 12. Yeah, each level is huge for GT plus. It just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, I think for going from 13 to 14, I noticed like 35% boost. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, 50% core substat, GT plus 10 out of 14. Yeah, it's so good. Golden Tower plus is just insane. Yeah, I would still suggest just upgrading that. Yeah. Do I have a Discord? I don't have a Discord server, but I do have a Discord like account if you would want to message me. Depends what you are referring to there. Do you think Poison Swamp is a good ultimate weapon as a main damage dealer? And how do you get it to help me in farm runs? I think it's pretty nice. I use Poison Swamp as a main along with Chain Lightning. I don't really have them like I don't have a primary one. I kind of use them equally. It is nice. I like Poison Swamp because it's really consistent. It's like the second most consistent damage ultimate weapon. I think it will just help in farming. Depends on what tier you farm, of course, right? But in general, it doesn't really kill enemies too early. If you're worried about that, just don't take the perk, and it should be fine. Don't take the Poison Swamp Radius perk, and you should be okay. Core substat seems to be undervalued by some. Getting more strength in 6 module substats for farm as well as more damage in tournaments. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. It could be better then. I'm not sure. But, I mean, if you want to focus fully on Econ, they're both good options. But I think GT Plus might potentially give a little bit more coins still. But yeah, like core subs that would be more like it would help you overall, I guess. You're just hitting mod level 201 and looking to reroll. What perfect primary and assist mod cannon slash chorus are looking like for GC Legends? I think in general, I mean, how about 201? Let me think. So 201 is 6 substats, right? Or so that's 7 substats. I would personally go for. I assume you have Spotlight Plus. If you don't have Spotlight Plus, then it's going to be a little bit different. But you would probably want for Cannon, it would just be crit factor, crit chance, super crit molt, super crit chance, damage per meter. And then after those 5, I would go multi-shot targets and bounce shot chance. I think those are probably the best. It's also assuming you use Chain Lightning as your damage source. For cores, it would probably be Chrono Field Speed Reduction, both Spotlight substats. And then 2 Chain Lightning substats, probably. And from there, it kind of depends how what your tower is built. I like Poison Swamp substats. If you have that built, those are really good as well. You want to drop a super chat and support you? Can you do that? I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I'm not sure how it works exactly. If there's like an option, but yeah, I would appreciate it if you want to do that. What do you recommend taking GT duration first from 70 to 76 seconds, or GT plus 11 to GT plus 12? I think the plus would give better ROI. I'm not exactly sure. Let me look. I was just looking at this yesterday. There's a path. Let me see what the chart says. Let me find it. So you're at GT, you're 70 seconds, GT plus 11. Yeah, you would want to go. You would want to go to GT plus 13 right now first, and then you'd want to get 72 duration, and then 14 or 73 duration. This chart's a little bit old, but the math is still the same for the earlier parts before anything before 80-second duration. So, what's up, Flipstar? Can you tell us about the biggest mistake you did on your account? Smart missiles or too less econ focus? I mean, just like looking at my account right now, yeah, it would be my smart missile investment probably. Since I unlocked the plus, I didn't level it. But at the time when I did do that, it was actually good. So it's like, yeah, right now that would be the biggest mistake I would say. I don't think I don't regret a bunch of other stuff like that much. I would not get Inner Landmine Plus or Deathwave Plus either. I would also wish to have those locked. But I'm pretty much fine with everything else, so. Yeah, no problem. Happy you enjoy the content. As a top player, would you want another tier above Legends or a league where the top players can compete against each other? Yeah, that would be cool. I think a really like exclusive league would be cool. Like you have to get first in your bracket or something, and then you like half the people drop out or something. I don't know. I just don't know how to keep it like so there's enough people in that league. I wouldn't. I would have to like think about that more, but something like really exclusive would be cool. And then the rewards would be good as well, of course. But I think that'd be cool. You'll do GT plus 12 and 13, then back to duration. Yeah, no problem. Why is it important to have critical chance above 100%? I can't reach 100% critical chance without substats on Canon, but I always see that antigen players mention or maintain the 10% critical chance substat. Because it boosts your ultimate weapon damage even over 100%. So it will continually boost your ultimate weapon damage even if you're over 100, which may seem a little weird, but yeah, it's pretty much just more damage. That's all it is. Not like using it for projectiles specifically or anything. What's up, Dinos? Thought I heard Tags mention he's gonna beat you in the next tourney. yeah, yeah. I'm doing a stream with him. I'll be on his channel doing tournament, just a tournament stream. Tomorrow it should be. So yeah, that'll be fun. You think the extra crit goes into ultimate weapon damage? Anything above 100? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason. There's not really any other reason to invest in it besides the ultimate weapon damage increase. CL plus, don't you regret? That's how you type it. I think the value for using tournaments. So I thought some turned it off for farms, so more enemies were around for OC. Yeah, it's mainly for tournaments. Yeah. It's really nice though. I really do like it. It just allows so many things. There's so many things that Shade Lightning Plus does that are really niche, but it does a really good job of those. I do like it in farming as well for me, since my ultimate weapon damage is really low. So it helps me get the enemies lower health to like kill them faster. So I think it does help me in farming as well. Yeah, it's really nice for like rays and protectors especially. I really like it. I definitely don't regret it. When do you think is the right time to add some more perk bans? I mean, I think it's fine right now. They haven't like changed perks at all in a while. I think getting a perk update would be cool. Maybe add some more perks and then some more bans. We don't really need more bans unless they add more perks, so that would be the point, I would say. When you pick damage stats on farming cores at the cost of maybe 1 to 2 econ stats, or just go full econ there? Depends on your situation. If you need waves, then I would definitely would. But if you're getting more than enough waves, I would go full econ substats. Like for me, for example, I have, I have 8 substats here, so it's a lot easier for me to put like substats to help with damage or getting further. But I have 2 out of my 8 here, spotlight bonus and chrono field speed reduction, just to help get more waves. But yeah, depends on your situation. What's up, Dark Archer? Great videos lately, very helpful. I'm happy they can help. In fact, he swapped out Ancestral Black Hole Digester for Singularity Harness in your assist slot. and doing a test run in tier 14 to see if the golden bot range boost adds to your income. Yeah, hopefully that goes well. It's always worth it to test stuff. You never know what could actually like make a difference and be good. What is the best way to deal with overcharge? The easiest one is just EHP, but there's also like mischance and death defy, like harmony conductor, landmine, stun mastery. Those two, mischance specifically, would also help when you have EHP, but if you don't use EHP, then you can also get those and the death defy. Having those chances high will help mitigate their effects of the overcharge, like hitting you, I guess, and breaking your shields. Also, higher thorns will kill them faster. But other than all of that, there's really not much that can like be done, I guess. Besides, I guess maybe like trying to get more enemies near them to bounce shots to them and kill them faster, but what is a reasonable time to push past 60-degree spotlight coverage? It kind of depends. Like, I guess if you're in tournaments, if you're dying to bosses and you're using like ship assist or something, I think it would be at the point once you start reaching fleets in Legends. I mean, if it just depends on the situation, you know. Like, if you're doing what I said there, it would probably be once you're reaching fleets and actually dying to them, since you actually need the coverage to help kill the fleets. But if you can just target all the bosses with the spotlight with ship, then you probably don't need to yet. And of course, that would also help for farming the degrees in the spotlight. That would help for Econ as well. So it kind of depends if you're focusing on tournaments or Econ, when the right time would be. It would also, yeah, it just helps with coins as well. So you could do it earlier if you would want, just to help get more Econ. What is the value of having more than 100% uptime Deathwave? I think you have both Deathwave CD and quantity on both mods, and which is at least one substat more than needed for 100% uptime. Yeah, it does get faster. Yeah, like Avonicus said. Like the frequency is really high. I don't think it helps too much, but I like having the extra frequency to help with these scatters, since scatters can count to a lot of kills, and the scattered children actually don't keep the orb or Deathwave coin bonus when they split. So the reason I have the high frequency is to try to tag them as consistently as possible to help with coins. I don't know how much it helps exactly, but as you can see, I kind of like stagger their kills a little bit just with whatever my setup is, so it kind of tags them like more consistently, I guess. So yeah, that's the reason for that. When should you jump from tier 16 farm to tier 17 in waves? I think tier 16 to 17 is the first one where you want to have more waves than like 6,000. Since Tank's Ultimate is where like tier 17 starts to have Tank's Ultimate. It's the first tier with it. I would say probably like 7,000 waves would be like at least, that would be solid. Maybe a little bit more. Just because Tank's Ultimate, it makes it a lot harder. You have to adjust to that as well, along with the higher scaling. There's one thing I want to mention as well while I have downtime, no questions. Um, Starting this week, I'm gonna be releasing a new kind of video. It's like on the shorts feed. I'm just gonna do like 1 minute videos. I'm gonna try like a few of them a week, just see how if people like them and like make adjustments. First one should be on Wednesday. There's gonna be like little like facts about the game or like tips that should like help some people out. Just like some things that a lot of people might not know, and just exactly how they work. So I recorded 6 of those, and I'm gonna upload 2 of them a week. So yeah, you'll be seeing those for at least 3 weeks, and I'll see how people like them. You have some levels into the Deathwave armor strip for the BC, as well as that stealth foot gun. I don't think it's quite as much of a foot gun as it used to be. The main reason it wasn't like a super big foot gun, I guess. It was a larger foot gun because enemies had less armor. People are farming like higher tiers now, and the enemies just have more armor overall. So it's not quite as big of a deal, but I still have that at level 0. Since armor can pretty much be instantly broken by projectiles and shade lightning, so it's really not like super big deal anymore. It's just really easy to break armor, like anyways. But I mean, I think it still could be bad, especially if you're doing what I do. You have like really high like death waves, like really high quantity and cooldown. That could be bad still, but how much is the adjustment you need to make? Would you still do well 1 or 2 tiers below, or is your build much focused on your current tier? So my current build is a tier 19 plus build. The main thing that makes tier 19 and higher like so much different than the lower tiers is fast ultimate. That's the main thing. So I think any build, if you make like a build in tier 19, for example, it should still work in tier 20 and 21, since they play really similar. I think tier 19 is still like more different than tier 20 and 21 since the fleets are way less frequent, but this build is specifically made for tiers with fast ultimate. So yeah, this build would not be very good in tier 18. I had a tier 18 build that was like really good before I switched to tier 20. I had like Chrono Field plus off and 0% bounce shot chance. It worked pretty well. What do you think we'll get in the next version 28? My guess is new stone sinks. That's like the main thing, and then I would say we're probably going to get new modules as well. I think from now on we'll have new modules every update, especially since they seem to keep getting longer between updates, like less frequent. So yeah, at least those, and then of course like the stone sinks would be whatever new content they add. Why is armor stripping bad? It's not like bad. I mean, it can be bad for farming. Like potentially, because you can kill enemies too early. But I mean, in tournaments and milestones, it's not gonna be bad usually. Like it's fine, but I just don't think the value is super good since you can instantly break armor anyways. Like armor's not like a super big deal. For an EHP player, what would be the most stone efficient way to push for assist mods? Perma Black Hole, Flamebot, then what? Second Wind Mastery. Yeah, you probably want like I think Flamebot's a huge one. You just need metals, right? Flamebot would be the main thing I would say. I mean, Second Wind Master, of course, that's a really good one as well. You just need to lab it, but if you can get the Flamebot like max, pretty much, that's like the main thing that would help, I think. But yeah, masteries are good as well. Yeah, what's up, Tags? You're hyped for tomorrow. Also rolled Mythic Chrono Field speed reduction on your Dimension Core for tier 19. Didn't realize it would help, but Ancestral would be better. Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. It makes it a lot easier to farm. It just makes everything a lot nicer, and like your walls not breaking as often and stuff. Just makes the enemies less of a threat. Your uncle works at Tech Tree Games, and he said we're getting super dope guild stuff. Yeah, guild stuff would be cool. I think they mentioned they want to expand guilds as well, so. But yeah, Tags, that's gonna be fun tomorrow. So yeah, make sure to check that out tomorrow. I already mentioned it once, but I'm going to be doing a stream. Tag's is going to be doing a stream. I'll be on it, and we'll be doing the tournament, so that'll be fun. You've been building damage for some time now, and you've got the mid shapes, but you feel like you need some CC to proceed. How viable is ILM for that purpose? ILM's pretty nice. I mean, it's kind of hard since there's not too many options for crowd control. Like at that point, inner landmines are nice. Just because they don't take as much investment. Like Poison Swamp, for example, takes a ton of investment. Since you need like all those labs. There's 4 long labs. I mean, there's only 3 you need for the CC, but Poison Swamp takes a lot more lab time. Inner landmine labs are a lot shorter, so ILM is probably the best option to start. But I would also consider like landmine stuff. I think it's really nice with the card. The landmine stun card. If you can get like 1 landmine radius substat on something, that would be really nice. That's really all you need for like landmines to make them solid for like stunning enemies. What's up, Flez? When bosses move at 1,000 miles per hour, ILM are useless. Yeah, I guess it also depends if you have like Chrono Field up. I mean, I assume you have like permanent Chrono Field. So like, I mean, some battle conditions like fast ultimate just make CC worse in general. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have like Chrono Field, right, you just definitely want to do that first. Get the 100% uptime on that. That would be the first priority. Hi, Gurney, love the show. I'd like to invest some damage ultimate weapons. I have 1094 CL. Like to have some poison swamp damage, or go deep into ILM. I've done all ILM and PS. I mean, I personally like poison swamp. That's just like, I think that's a lot of people's favorite as well, besides chain lightning. Chain lightning is like just the best in general, though. You could push that a little bit more if you want. And as long as you have like poison swamp labs, like at least partially done, then you could probably also start poison swamp and get the damage going on that. But if you haven't started poison swamp like labs at all, I assume you have based on your investment. But it would either be chain lightning or poison swamp, in my opinion. Yeah, the problem with inner landmines is you kind of need like space displacer. Yeah, I kind of want tags mentioned. You can't really use. You need to either drop orbital augment or anti-Q portal for the space displacer for inner landmine damage. So that's the main problem I have with it. Did Giga really pass you in the recent tournament? Yeah, he did pass me, but I did a rerun. I reran. I think he passed me in the last two tournaments that I reran to pass him again. Which substat is better, landmine chance or landmine radius? Most of the time, it's going to be landmine radius, I think. If you're using it for the landmine stuns with the card, then definitely landmine radius. But if you want more inner landmines with space displacer, then the landmine chance will be better there. So it depends on the situation. Yeah, landmine stun master makes you want to use regular landmines more. Yeah, I really like landmine stun. It's super good. Is the defense percent subset helpful in running a damage focused build? Should you hold off for other substats? I mean, if you're using the like tank overcharge, it's good, but I don't use it personally. I think there's other substats that are better. Like, let me see. I use these 7 for tournaments all the time. So I like both orbs, both landmine substats, like wall rebuild, death defy, shockwave frequency, of course. So I do think there's like better options, unless you like really need the HP. But then again, it won't help too much in like tournaments. But if you needed the substat to get you from like 90 to 98% defense in like regular tiers, then that's probably better than something else. Oh, if you're farming tier 15, 5800 plus, yeah, that doesn't really change my opinion on what I said. Yes, if you don't have Spotlight Plus, I would do that first. Spotlight Plus is definitely a solid option. All you really need is Chain Lightning and Spotlight Plus. You don't really need like Poison Swamp Plus, but yeah, if you don't have that, I would go for the Spotlight Plus. I also need the Range Master with that. It's very nice. You also have all the labs done. Yeah, you could potentially go like Poison Swamp after the Spotlight Plus, but yeah, Spotlight Plus is pretty much just the best third ultimate weapon plus in the game. I think it's pretty clear what the first 3 are. If you're using just like a glass cannon or hybrid build. Perma Scout was a success. You're sticking with it. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it seems really good. So yeah, I just wish we had like Guardian presets, because then I could actually try it out. I haven't tried it out at all myself, so I'm hoping we get that in like version 28 or something. Open the inner landmine next. Don't have Chrono Field or PS. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Chrono Field as an option, then just do Inner Landmine probably. But you will want to get Chrono Field going probably. Um, that would probably be before Inner Landmines, just because that helps a ton with everything in the game pretty much. You need to put some levels into Mind Decay, so that's all your CC. Yeah, that's not too much, I would say. Need to get the Chrono Field going. It just will probably take a while. Yeah, no problem, Poetic Piercer. How long have I been playing the game for? A little bit over 3 years. So what's that like? I guess it's like almost 3.5 years at this point. Not quite, but 3 years and 4 months at least, like 4.5 months. So yeah, pretty long time. Is Landmine Decay ever worth labbing? I've kind of thought about it. I think in theory it's good. I haven't actually labbed it myself at all. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, I haven't done it myself, but it should be good. Like it seems like it would be good. It's I don't know. It's just kind of weird to think about without like actually having it. Just like your landmines will stick around longer, which will let enemies hit them, like have a higher chance to hit them, since they won't just randomly blow up and have a chance to stun nothing, you know. So it should be better. It seems like it would be good. Yeah, I think you could be good when you have landmine stun mastery. Yeah, yeah, that would be the main thing that it would be used for. Pure speculation, but what would you like to see added to the Ultimate Weapon Plus that aren't as popular? Black Hole Deathwave smart missiles. I think smart missiles, since a lot of people have investment in smart missiles, they could do something with Smart Missile Plus to improve it more. I think Deathwave Plus is good. I think it's a really good concept, but Deathwave just can't really hit like some of the fleets right now. That's the problem with it. So I think Deathwave Plus is fine. Inner Landmine Plus is fine. Chain Lightning Plus is okay. Yeah, I think Black Hole would be the only other thing. There could be some with Black Hole that could get changed because, yeah, it's also a little bit weak right now. You'd like to see Black Hole Plus pull in range and fast ultimates. Yeah, that would be a really good effect. I would definitely be getting that then. Yeah. It would be like super good then. Yeah, Black Hole Plus definitely needs something at least, yeah. So you have Spotlight 4, 24x damage, 45 degree. So Spotlight Plus would be better then. Yeah, probably. You might want to get a little bit more angle. Um, Depends what you're dying to in like farming and tournaments though. But yeah, more angle. You could probably do more angle and Spotlight Plus next. That's probably fine. Only having two ancestral mods, Anti-Q Portal and Magnetic Hook. Should you hoard gems for V28 or keep popping them to get the current mods and hopefully ancestral? I think you could probably use them. I don't think like if we're gonna get new modules or something, it's gonna be banners again. They're gonna come out slowly. If you really wanted to keep like 10,000 gems or like 5,000 to 10,000, like saved up, I guess, just to be safe if you want. But it'd probably be fine to spend them all, cause yeah, that would help your progress a lot. Like now, I guess, just pulling more modules. You buy as many packs as you can. Yeah, I buy all the stone packs. I don't buy gems though. It's a pretty quick lab to do. The landmine decay. I haven't actually looked. I don't remember how long it is. Let me look. Yeah, 35 levels is huge. So that's like, what, 17 and a half seconds? That's like a long time that they would stay. I wonder how long the base amount is until they stay. Like the base time that they stay is. I could probably slow the game down and like look. I might do that sometime just to see how valuable that is. That is a lot of time. How's your Deathwave shooting out its effect wave so fast? I have max. I'll first show you the stones. I have max the cooldown, max quantity with stones, and with I have double substats that are both maxed. So I have 12 quantity and 24-second cooldown, and so it will shoot one wave every 2 seconds, in-game seconds. So I just have like max everything for Deathwave pretty much for my farming. I mentioned earlier, but it was to try to get the tags on these scatters after they split more consistently. At what level should you stop investing Spotlight Plus? I had my Spotlight Plus at level 3 for a while. It does depend on your damage per meter. The higher damage per meter you have, the less Spotlight Plus levels you need. But I would say somewhere between like 3 and 5 probably. That's probably the best place to stop. I got mine to 7 like a few months ago. So I'm just going to stay with 7 for a long time though. It doesn't... I don't think the value's like super needed to go higher than that. Like if I max it out, I'll only be getting double damage, which is not that much for the amount of stones I'm putting in. Black Hole Plus at least provides damage to everything. Yeah, something like that. What's up, Sleek? Landmine decays only 35 minutes for the first level. So you can gem rush the first 10 to 20 levels for almost 0 gems. I guess I could. Yeah, I might do that later. I do want to... I actually kind of want to test the landmine, how long they last now without that lab researched at all. I'll probably do that sometime this week. But yeah, I'll probably do it eventually. Why put time in the Deathwave damage lab if not invest in the damage? Doesn't it only upgrade the Deathwave itself? Yeah, if you're talking about the... Let me see. The Deathwave damage amplifier? Yeah, it only affects the actual Deathwave. Just affects how much damage the enemy takes from Deathwave when they're hit by them. This is kind of an old investment. I haven't really done it recently. But Deathwave was just in a weird spot for damage. Since it can't hit some of the fleets. Can't hit Overcharge or commanders unless they get pushed in. So I haven't really researched it recently. What's the main difference between you and, in your opinion, number 1 in the game? So the main thing I'm missing is just ultimate weapon damage. That's the main thing. I pretty much have everything else. I have almost max crowd control. My sysmods are pretty good. The one other thing would be my armor. Substat efficiency. That's not actually damage. I need to get this like 80%, and then that's probably like fine. Other than that, my EHP is solid, so I think I don't... That's like not really much different. But yeah, like I said, the main thing is damage. So my cannon multiplier efficiency and substat efficiency, core multiplier efficiency, And then also my chain lightning damage is pretty low just in the with stones. It's only at 700 something because this is with the perk. And the other ultimate weapon I use for damage is Poison Swamp, which is also 700. And I think they have like max smart missile stuff, which helps them with damage a lot. And my smart missiles aren't like, I don't invest that much into them, and I'm not heavily invested with stones either. I think that's the main difference. And of course, also like some economy things. I'm missing 5 levels of Golden Tower bonus as well. That's a big one. Because my economy is also not quite there yet. Any tips for farming? Trying to start tier 13, been doing EHP. I'm not sure exactly for EHP farming. I mean, are you just like dying too early? Or like, are you not making enough coins or something? I'm not sure exactly. Not sure what exact tips I would be able to give you just from that, but I guess just trying to get more uptime on your ultimate weapons and stuff. And it's not, that's just pretty basic though. It's not specific to EHP farming. Would Deathwave become top tier if they would release a range slider for it? I don't know if it would become top tier. It would be really good though. I think if it was at least able to hit fleets, like commanders and overcharge, it could be really good. I don't know if it would be top tier, but it would definitely be able to compete with the other damage ultimate weapons very well. The problem is that you just, it's still going to be hard to hit the actual fleet sometimes. Since there's a lot of other enemies that could be in the way. Like just a single enemy being closer than the fleet could just take up all the, the entire damage pool. Hingarini, I've been pulling mods in the hopes of getting a single project funding to get it to Ancestral for like 3 months now to no available. Do you think I should save gems for anything new in the future or keep at it? I mean, you'll get it eventually, right? But I mean, it's just unlucky. Like, it's just complete RNG. I mean, if you really want, you could wait to version 28 just to see what they add, but it's probably fine for you to keep going. There's no real drawback, I don't think. So I think it would probably be fine to keep, pulling modules. If there would be a lab Deathwave effect, waves. Let me re-say that. If there would be a lab, Deathwave effect waves deal X damage to fleets. Would that bring Deathwave back? And how big would the X need to be? So I assume you mean like more percentage damage to fleets. Honestly, I don't think it would need to be that high. Like maybe like 50% more or like 100% extra. Just because fleets, I guess it kind of is more for commanders and like saboteurs. They usually hang around for a while, so you can get a lot of extra effect wave hits on them. I don't think it would need to be too high. The main thing is just you need to be able to hit them consistently, right? So that's the main thing with it. But that would definitely help, I think. You have Fortress Master? Yeah, I do. I have it maxed. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The extra wall rebuild is nice to have. You just need to have the card slots for it. Trying to move into getting keys in tournaments. Still to get my first. What would you say is the most important thing to go for? CC or pure damage? I think with how the scaling is now, Um, I guess it actually depends if you're going for keys. If you get to the point in tournaments where your enemy level skips are at 0%, then I would definitely go CC. But if you're still at a point where your skips are like active and you're getting some skips, it's a lot closer option then. But I do think CC is still just better in general. It just kind of helps more overall, I think, in tournaments, no matter what. So I would probably go for that. Kind of depends what you have already for CC, but stuff like Chrono Field Plus is solid. Trying to buff your landmines, like landmine radius for more stuns, is really good as well. Stuff like that. You've been playing for almost a year and you still haven't got a single project funding? That's really unfortunate, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like every once in a while, just some modules just don't want to like get pulled at all. For a whole year is, yeah, that's a lot of time without a single one. Thanks for the suggestion. I've been flip-flopping between champs and legends and think ancestral PF would help a lot. Yeah, it would. I think project funding is one of the modules where going from mythic to ancestral is a really nice boost, since it goes from 50% to 100%, which is a pretty big difference. Yeah. So yeah, that would definitely help a lot, I think. See how my run's going. It's pretty average, I would say. Yo, what's up, Bonzo? How's it going? Good? That's good to hear. I'm gonna pull a few gems. I've been trying to stay at least at like 32,000. Let's see. Pull a few modules. Shrink ray? Not bad. You got your notepad ready? Classes in session. Okay. If you're farming tier 12 at the moment, at what point would tier 14 farming start to work out? I think that jump is kind of hard. Just because you're skipping a tier, right? But I mean, that it makes sense too. That's like a normal thing, jumping from tier 12 to 14. You probably need a lot of waves in 12. It's mostly would just depend on your waves. I guess also what strategy you're using to farm. Like if you're using EHP tier 12, you probably need more waves than if you're doing glass cannon or like hybrid farming. At least like 8,000 waves, probably 10,000 in tier 12. I would say, yeah, around there, I think. What's the reason you perform better than Crowbar Zero? I mean, I just try pretty hard in tournaments. I don't think it's like I have a lot of different strategies I use. Tournaments don't really like aren't a good correlation to like how strong your tower is. I think we're pretty close. I think he's a little bit stronger than me, like ultimate weapon damage wise. But Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure it's like better CC or like and stuff like that, but I think we're pretty close. But ultimate weapon damage doesn't like make a huge difference in tournaments. Like increases at least. Like having a base ultimate weapon damage is really useful, right? Because it will get you a certain amount of waves. But any like increases to your ultimate weapon damage from what you have now are very minimal. They won't make a huge difference. That's kind of why stuff like crowd control and percent damage are super strong in tournaments, because those actually help a lot more. You have two common cards left to max, and just thinking after that, you try to get legendary mods bouncing between gold and plat. When would you suggest the switch? Yeah, at least after you get those common cards maxed. I'm not sure what your rares are at, but you could try to get try to max your plasma cannon maybe first, because that's like a really good one I think early game to max, right? Because bosses only die in one thorn hit instead of two. Like guaranteed pretty much. So it would either be after the commons or after that plasma cannon max. I would say definitely if you go for the max plasma cannon, definitely after that you could go on to modules. Do they both one shot with thorns? Let me see. Technically, level 6 doesn't. If you have like if you're using damage, then yeah, it's probably good enough at level 6. But if you're fully HP, I think you do actually need the level 7. Because thorns will deal, unless you have like a thorns relic or something to get to 100%. If you're at 99% thorns, you would need level 7. But if you get like a thorn substat on a module, then you could actually do level 6. So yeah, that would be correct then. Just depends like where you're at. You max the rares, then focus mods. Use 6 out of 8 cards currently. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably fine. I think that's a good time to switch. No 6-7 joke. I tried to avoid it, but now that you mention it, I guess I'll just say it. For late game players, do you feel that investment into Poison Swamp purely for the stun is worth it? Or once you get there, is it better to throw some into damage as well? Have Chronofield Plus, Spotlight Plus, and Inner Landmine Plus for damage and crowd control. Yeah, it's still really good just for the stun. Like almost every build, having the labs for the stun and the uptime is really good. Even if you don't want to do damage, damage is optional. You don't have to do it, but the stuns are huge. They're definitely worth it, no matter what. But yeah, you do need like a solid Chronofield Plus with it to make it to unlock its true potential, I guess. If you're like in a position where you haven't really started Poison Swamp at all, but you eventually want to get into it, I would set one lab slot aside to Poison Swamp labs and just slowly work on them over time. You'd love if Tech Tree Games would add a kernel field module, but what would it do? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Kernel field's already really strong. I don't know what else I could do to it. It should reverse the direction. That could be cool, actually. There's a lot of things that could be done with that. That would make inner landmines better, but orb hits would be worse. Could be interesting. Yeah, not sure what else it would do. Maybe like increase the range, the kernel field range or something. I don't know. Just the extra range outside the tower. Or maybe the spin is even stronger, like outside the range or something. I don't know, with the kernel field plus. Something like that. So after chain lightning, what would be the ultimate weapon to focus on for damage? You really don't need anything other than chain lightning. That's like, you can make the entire game work. Like you can get like really far in the game just with chain lightning. But if you really wanted to work on something else, in the current meta, it would either be inner landmines or poison swamp, probably. Inner landmines requiring less investment, but you also need the kernel jump lab. Poison swamp is more investment, like especially in labs. But in my opinion, the poison swamp is better in the end. Smart missile is also like really good, but you need insane stone investment on that. It's like it would take so long to actually get that up and running. And you also need to like use substats for it and stuff. So I probably wouldn't recommend that. How do you boost percent damage? Boosting the actual percent damage in itself, there's not really like a way to like boost how much it actually does, but crowd control like will like help you deal more percent damage. So orbital augment is the main percent damage. Like that's one of the main tools we have now. If you can make that work, that's like really huge. But you do lose some crowd control using orbital augment, so you kind of need a good baseline of crowd control to make it work. And then you also need to upgrade the armor assist rarity, of course, with that to make it work. But orbital augment is super strong if you can get it to work. If you had SM max in stone, would you change your core substat for it? Yeah, I would probably use at least cooldown substats. Just add both the cooldown substats in. Because, yeah, if, like, at one point, if I want to, like, if they buff FSM, I would probably have to invest stones in it. And, yeah, like, use substats, at least the cooldown. Thank you for spreading knowledge, yeah. What's up, S-Dragon? V28 when? I don't know, good question. This month, probably, I would say, but March 26th is my guess. If it's going to be this month, it'll be probably end of the month. March 26th is like the best day, I would say. Was CL bad at any time? Yeah, it used to be like a long time ago. It was just really bad. It didn't do anything. But they made it better over time, and then with like version 24, they actually buffed the damage, and it became really good for killing enemies, like with the actual damage. But even before that, it was good for armor stripping. When there was like armored battle condition. When they added that in, I don't remember what version, 21, I think. So that was like 3 years ago. But yeah, it's been good for like 2 years at least, almost. Flipstar, are you asking how many times my enemies would get hit by the effect waves before they get hit by the ring? Is that what you're asking? Not exactly sure what you're asking. What would I remove for the Smart Missile cooldown? Let me see. Where are my cores? So from this one, if I would actually invest in SM, I would also max my chrono field duration, so I could get rid of this substat. Chrono field duration, I would put it instead of that. And then for my harmony conductor, I only use the first 7 substats. I would probably get rid of poison swamp duration. Since that, I mean, it's a nice substat, but you don't like need it. And then I probably wouldn't use that in like farming. I mean, maybe. If I got more substat slots, like for my farming dimension core, I would probably put it as my 7th. Chain Lightning was trash when you began to play, and then the rework made it good. Yeah, that rework helped it a lot. It's actually really good now. It's overall just the best ultimate weapon for damage. So you just picked up Spotlight Plus. How much should you upgrade it before moving on to other stuff? Depends on your damage meter. If you have like at least like a decent damage per meter, I would get it to like +3 or 4. That's probably enough. I stopped mine at +3 for a while, but you really don't need too much investment for it to be good. Then you also need Range Master with it, of course. So yeah, that's probably where I'd stop. For card masteries, you got Recovery Package Chance, Wave Accelerator, free upgrades, Intro Sprint. Next, you want to go for the Damage Masteries. Super Tower is going to be your first, and your damage is going to skyrocket. Yeah, I think that's fine. You're not really missing anything there. That's like, I think that's the general order that people usually go. So yeah. Would you appreciate it if they added some more active gameplay, like a challenge mode in V28? Or do you rather have them implement a true idle mode? Or are you content with the current gameplay loop? I wish we had something that was kind of like milestones that we can work towards, but like not milestones. So I think something like that would be cool, like a challenge mode. I was thinking something like a campaign mode, similar to like Clash of Clans. I used to play that a little bit. There's kind of like a campaign there where you work your way through like different levels with different challenges. I think something like that would be cool. I was thinking maybe the first ones are like for complete early game players that just started, and then like they slowly get harder and harder all the way up until the last ones are like even the top players can't do them. I think that would be really cool. Like maybe there's like specific BCs that are like not seen anywhere else in those challenges or something. I think that would be cool. Yeah, how often can you tag an enemy with the effect waves before it takes out damage out of the pool? With my CC, if I just don't have any substats, I could probably hit an enemy with like 20 at least. But if I have all these substats, it'd be way more, like probably like at least like 60. Surprised I'm not farming tier 21 yet. I haven't tried it yet. My damage is just really low. It was a struggle to get that tier 21 4500 in January. It took a lot of attempts. But I might give farming a try. I really don't think I could farm really far. I would probably die at like 3,000 to 3,500 waves. Even then, that's probably with like prioritizing waves instead of coins. probably using like project funding and stuff. But I do want to give it a shot at one point before like version 28 to see if I can make it work. They need to make the module for smart missiles make big boom, big missile. Yeah, maybe like just really like super high radius stuff like with smart missiles or something. That could be cool. Make them really consistent. Knowing what you know now, what would be the first 3 things you would rush with keys, assuming you're still at that point in the game? I would go for demon mode automation, and if you have the nuke mastery, nuke automation. At least the first level of those, since those are pretty early in the tree, they're just like super nice. You can actually use them in farming, like while being idle. It's there; those are really nice. I would also go for. Let me think. What else? At least like a few levels in the workshop. Respec discount. I think the harmony tree is definitely better to focus on, or when you first start getting keys. So, yeah. Do you think we should stop investing into damage and only focus on CC/Econ? Damage is still really good in regular tiers. I don't think it's like good to like completely stop working on damage, since that will help you in farming and milestones and stuff. Spotlight +3 or +4 it is. Working on the damage from meter lab. Range mastery is complete. Yeah, you're pretty close then. Yeah, you already have like everything you need. Can you see your next boss kill breakdown right here? This is pretty early in the run though, so I think towards the end it would be more orbs maybe. But yeah, Poison Swamp, Chain Lightning. This is about what I would expect from a boss breakdown. Next one, more Chain Lightning. Let's see some of the previous ones. Yeah, I think it's usually more Chain Lightning. That was a pretty like even one. Chain Lightning usually does most of the work in this tier at least. Deathwave did hit that boss, and that one. You're stronger than I am, but I'm farming 221 to 4,700. What do you use? Do you like use like project funding and stuff and like higher bounce, I assume? Because I don't even know like what I would do to even attempt the 221 farming. I've seen a lot of people use like project funding. Yeah, I would have to like prioritize damage a lot more because my damage is just kind of low for farming. Like my Chain Lightning at max gets to like 90-0, I think. Poison Swamp like 40-0. That's with Viking Funeral. And then I don't even get to 1 Poison Swamp damage in farming without the Viking Funeral. That's with the DM active. Started on December 15th, farming tier 5. Best is 4.9 bill coins. You have Golden Tower, Deathwave, Spotlight, Poison Swamp, Black Hole. But struggling to get out of gold. Feeling doing something wrong. Any tips / help? Are you like using EHP or damage? If you like want to get into damage, Chain Lightning would be the next thing you would want to get, but you're kind of in an unfortunate spot since you already have so many ultimate weapons. You could probably go the EHP route. You just have to, I would say, fully invest in either damage or EHP. Since it's kind of hard to go hybrid early game, just with how the scaling is. So I would probably try to focus on one of those. That Spotlight Plus is going to put in work? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, damage is really nice for regular tiers. That increases in damage. What's up, Seven? What's your setup for having so much more wall health and regular health? So I'm at, I think, 2x health enhancement and then 3.3 wall health. I lock max recovery at 0. And then I also do not invest in the package enhancement. So it gets my wall to be really high compared to my package health. It works out pretty nice. I think I usually will be able to get death defiance when my wall breaks. Unless the only problem is sometimes other enemies break my wall. And then the overcharge, like I can't really get death defiance because they haven't been ramping on the wall at all. That's the only problem with it. But I think it's fine usually. For tier 21, you're using max bounce shot chance and targets. ASAD, Black Hole Digester PF, ACPOA, Dimension Core Primordial Collapse, 98 meters, Poison Swamp Stun on. No AoE, PS perk. No PS perk. Okay, so that's, yeah. It's kind of what I was doing when I started tier 20. Not the high range, but I did the Poison Swamp Stun on without the AoE or the perk for the stuns. What bounce shot range do you get with that? Yeah, I'll try something out like that out. I think I want to stream next week trying out tier 21 farming. So I'll probably try something similar to that and give it an attempt. Spotlight Plus has added 500 waves in tier 18. Yeah, it's really nice. It's so good. Especially if you didn't have it previously and you just like recently got it and you just started investing in it. It's super noticeable. It helps a ton. GT was your 5th and you were getting hosed on the pulls. Should you focus on EHP build more? Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. In that situation, like, EHP is probably going to be easier. At least, like, you don't have to invest, like, super heavily into it. It's just unfortunate you didn't get Chain Lightning. It would probably be easier to use EHP. So, yeah. I mean, you could potentially, like, look at your next ultimate weapon pick and see if you get Chain Lightning. If you do, then you could probably go the damage route there, but if you don't, then I would probably just invest in the Deathwave Health Lab and try to get more like EHP to get EHP build going. What's up, 589? I assume all your coins are going to damage plus enhancement section. Wonder if it would be worthwhile to shard farm tier 21. Yeah, it might be. My coins aren't actually going to the damage enhancements right now. I'm actually, after this run, I'm going to be able to max my coin plus. I'm really close to enough coins. I think I need, like, let me see. Before this run, I needed 7Q more. So yeah, I'm literally like, I'm like 10 minutes away from getting enough coins probably. So that's going to be nice, but I'll do it after this run. So, I mean, then, yeah, it might be a good time to try tier 21 at least for the shards, but I don't know how many waves you need in tier 21 for the shards to be better than tier 20. I'm just not sure. You do 30 clicks into bounce shot range, so around 6.95 or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I might message you later. I would have to figure out what like setup works for everyone else. So I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm getting to that point. Yeah, maybe I am. I don't know. I mean, I haven't tested it all. I really don't think I can get that many waves, but maybe I'm underestimating. You have 0 stones. Currently 1250 is months away to look. Yeah, in that situation, you probably wouldn't even want to look then. Just invest on. You can invest in Econ stuff. EHP is getting as much health as possible, right? Yeah. Yeah, you just get as much health and like defense stuff. Also, Thorns helps. And then trying to get modules that help with EHP, like Sharp Fortitude or Wormhole Redirector. Then working on like wall labs and stuff. Yeah. In 2 months, you're finished syncing the trio to 100 seconds. Your thought process was to get permanent black hole and Deathwave to 50 seconds. And after that, to maximize farming and cell gain while tanking tournaments. Is that viable? Yeah, I think it kind of depends if you buy stone packs. If you buy the stone packs, that's a lot more viable. I mean, if you're happy with your tournament performance, I mean, if you're not buying stone packs, that's fine then. Econ's always going to be good. Yeah, no problem, Jack. You're up to 4.25 Q an hour on tier 20 farming. It really helped you catch up to players with higher mod levels. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's getting pretty close to where I'm at. I haven't been focusing on coins recently, so I'm at like, let's see, 5.8 average because I have like 0 investment in my summon. I'm at like 17 seconds, 132 cooldown. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, the module shards are really nice in these 2 tiers, tier 20 and 21. You have everything in summon. Yeah, I think most people do. I'm just like, I'm at the point where I don't think coins are as useful anymore in this version, so I don't really care that much until version 28. I pretty much have everything I need. I should be able to actually get the stuff that I want upgraded before version 28 comes out. All I really want is this coin plus, which I'll literally get after this run. That's the last level. And then I want to do the last enemy level skip lab. And then just enhancements. That's pretty much it. There's not much else. What is one mod or feature that you really like or think is fun and you would hope they improve it? I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I like a lot of things about the game. A module that I think is fun. Let me see. I mean, I really like Orbital Augment. It's just because it's super good. But I mean, it does not need a buff at all, and it's not need an improvement. It's too strong. I like Pulsar Harvester. I think that's pretty cool. It's really good. It's really strong though. Once again, same thing. Could be interesting if they did something with it. Is Bounce Shot Chance good for Swirly Devo? Running locked Bounce Shot range. Was rolling your Amp Strike for multi-shot chance and targets, but hit Bounce Shot Chance. I'm not sure if you should keep it or keep rolling. Bounce Shot Chance can potentially be bad for farming, but I think Bounce Shot Chance is a really good substat if you're like, depends what you're doing. If you're doing a Devo like that, I don't think it would be super bad, but I don't think it would really help that, right? I think the multi-shot targets would help more if you're doing a Devo type build, just to keep enemies back, like more, I guess. But yeah, it kind of depends, like if you're using like fully like EHP or damage or whatever. But yeah, what's up, Blue Baked Beans? I'm doing well. You have a question. You've been you maxed recently the assist gen multiplier. Next week you'll max the assist core subs. What would be the best thing to focus on after those two? Let me see. I mean, after these two, I mean, my opinion is generator substat efficiency. That's kind of the next best thing. You get so much out of it. You get coins, you get enemy level skips, you get module shards. It's really strong. Armor substat's also nice. Then if you just want like raw damage, of course, like core multiplier and cannon multiplier are nice. You thought EHP is way more efficient for farming right now? And investing in those instead of CO would allow you to run 4x labs pretty early on? Yeah, I think in your situation, EHP is probably be better. Like, it would take so long to get to chain lightning. It's just an unfortunate situation, but EHP is still pretty efficient early game. So yeah, I think that's the best play. You're running full GC. You'll keep it see how it feels. Yeah, I mean, if you use your Amp Strike for tournaments, Bounce Shot Chance is really nice. For just more chain lightning and stuff. So that it could be good there, but I don't think it would help that much farming. So yeah. I'll answer a few more questions, but I'm gonna end the stream soon, probably in like 5 to 10 minutes here. Thanks for doing this. You've been farming tier 18 for a while. With just Chronofield Plus unlocked, when would you start pumping into Chronofield Plus? Does it help much in tournaments? Yeah, it still does help a lot in tournaments, even when like fleets are like the main threat. Overcharge is the one thing that kind of causes Chronofield Plus to not be as useful. But it's still pretty good in farming. It's mostly in the like higher tiers, tier 19 plus, but I think a lot of people turn off Chronofield Plus in tier 18 and stuff. But yeah, it's really good to invest in just overall. 1732 lifetime stones, so your current ultimate weapons aren't that developed. 1250 for the next one, with the gunshot at Black Hole. Save or invest current for a bit. I think you could probably get black hole. I mean, it kind of depends what else you have. If you already have golden tower, then yeah, I would get black hole and then start working on the coin bonus lab and get stones into golden tower and black hole. You've been using a Mythic Plus Multiverse Nexus. Cooldown for golden tower is 230 and your duration is 49 seconds. At the moment, you're farming tier 11. Should increase the cooldown and duration or get GT plus. You could probably work on the cooldown duration a little bit more before GT plus, I think. And then probably like I would say probably like at least 55 seconds and like 2-minute cooldown. Then after that, you could probably get GT plus. What's up, Overbuzzy? Yeah, I've been well. What are your thoughts on the attack guardian? Is percentage better than targets? I don't think so. I think the percentage is kind of the worst stat on it. It is really good though. I currently have it for tournaments. That's what I'm using mainly. Let me see. I usually don't have this much investment, but I have full investment right now. I'm probably gonna respec at one point. But, I mean, even if you use orbital augment with it, then you don't actually need that high of a percentage. You kind of have to use low range, so if your percentage is too low, right? So, orbital augment makes it a lot better. I mean, I've made it work in the past with just like 60-second cooldown, 5 targets, 5%. That also works. But recently, we've had fast ultimate, and it's a lot harder to make it work with only those stats. And this makes it a lot more consistent. Can you show your cannon substats once more? Yeah. This is what I have. For tournaments, I go to 241, so I get the targets in the range. But I just have, for farming, I just have these. The 4 damage stats, the multi-shot targets, and the bounce shot chance. What's up, Lucas? You just unlocked Spotlight lately? What do you recommend and how should you upgrade it? If you want to upgrade Spotlight, you probably start with like quantity. Like at least once or twice. Then you can work on some angle. I think the bonus isn't quite as important. Of course, like if you're using EHP, you don't care about the bonus, right? But also because you get the coin bonus if you research that. So the consistency will help with both your coins, and if you are using damage, then it will also help with the consistency for the damage boost. You farm Orb Devil with Wall in your champ tournaments. Yeah, if you're EHP, it would probably just be you don't really care about the damage. So you would probably just care about it for the coin bonus, assuming your golden tower and black hole are in a good spot. So yeah, probably just evenly in the quantity and angle. At least get like 2 quantity first. After finishing Black Hole and Deathwave, would it be overkill to get full Spotlight or start working on CL and CF at that point? It probably depends on what you're focused on. CL and CF would probably help more in tournaments, right? So full Spotlight could help in both. If you want to keep pushing your economy, full Spotlight would be fine to work on, but after that, I would definitely do Chain Lightning and Chrono Field and stuff. Just depends kind of what you're focusing on. Yeah, no problem. You thought so? You assumed targets were much better? Yeah. Yeah, the targets are usually better. Cooldown's super important as well. I think cooldown's probably the best stat there. But, I mean, of course, you do need some damage and some targets along with the cooldown as well, so... Yeah, no problem, Mr. Exo. Are you able to max a module out to level 300? What kind of cost is involved in them from a coin perspective? Definitely not. I don't even have close to enough shards or coins. We can look right here, I think. Yeah, so these are at level 200. It's 12.6 S coins to max one module to 300, which is insane. I don't even have that many lifetime coins. I'm only at 11.17. Lucas, I would probably do like one spotlight quantity first, and then get like 5 to 10 angle, and then you could go for the second one, or the third one, I guess, and then angle more. Eventually, you'd want the fourth one, but it's really expensive, of course. So, yeah, no problem, Poetic Piercer. Golden Tower and Black Hole are at 220 cooldown and 35-second duration. You have Golden Bot and Deathwave synced with them. Yeah, I think that's fine still, whatever I said. The quantity, then some angle first. Because, yeah, that's a pretty solid Golden Tower and Black Hole. So, yeah, I think same thing I said with Spotlight would be next. Your Econ right now, but your goal is eventually GC. I think you could probably take a break and just do the Spotlight right now. I think that's probably fine. It'll be good to have that for Glass Cannon as well. So that'll be good to get done. Sure, yeah. What I said, Lucas. Spotlight still, yeah. No problem. Do you think there's going to be another Econ sync in the next patch? Yeah, I assume the updates are going to be similar from now on. So we're going to have new stone sinks, right? I think we're going to have new modules every time. And I think there's going to be like new ways to make more coins, right? And then, of course, more ways to spend those coins. I would say all of those are going to be seen in pretty much every patch from now on, major patch at least, since the frequency is getting lower slowly, it seems like, of each major update. What angle would be a good stopping point? You're at 45 degrees. I think if like 55 is probably fine, or 60. That's if you got to 60, that's solid. Like you probably wouldn't have to upgrade it for a while. Yeah, no problem. I'll maybe answer like one or two more questions. Unless there's nothing else, I'll end the stream. Probably a new cell card, and maybe as well, considering the cost of 7x and 8x. Yeah, that's true. I would not be surprised if we got a cell card either. Yeah. What's the priority list for assist module unique effect boosts? Kind of depends. I mean, I personally like armor a lot since like with orbital augment, but if you're not in a position to use orbital augment, I think generator and core are probably still like the best too. Cannon is definitely last, I would say. It's not gonna help that much compared to the other ones. Generator is always gonna be solid. Core, it kind of depends what you're using in the assist. Yeah, I think like with Almship, it's really good for assist. If you put your like dimension core in that slot as well, that's also good. And armors honestly might be the best one if you are in the position to use orbital augment though. You've been told you should restart your game because you didn't get Golden Tower as your first ultimate weapon. So should you restart everything? You don't have to, but I mean, yeah, a lot of people suggest that. It'll make the game easier. But if you've already like spent money and stuff, then it's probably not worth it. You can, I mean, it could like unless you get like really unlucky. It should be okay in the end, but it's still just like risky, you know. Sell bot, not sell card. Yeah, maybe. You quickly show your core substats. Yeah. This is what my farming dimension core has. This is my farming primordial collapse. And then for tournaments, I use this dimension core. If there's ultimate weapon duration, I'll use the chrono field duration. And then I've been using the harmony conductor recently. I don't use this last substat though. Just the first 7 here. Yeah, sell card would be nice. Yeah, I use Harmony Conductor for tournament and Primordial Collapse for farming. I like this better for tournaments. I do have 2 copies of the Primordial Collapse. So, yeah. Found a picture of the cell enhancement efficiency, and that at some point the upgrade makes no difference. Is that true? I think it does. I don't know if I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, but it should make a difference. I think the difference is pretty minimal though. I think that may be what that is. It might be a minimal difference after a while, so. Yeah, a card would probably be easier to access than like a sell bot or something, but yeah, maybe both. That could be. I mean, yeah, these costs are insane, so I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see. Yeah, 6 and 24. That's like insane. We needed a lot more, like sell income for that. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. It's a pretty good stream. A lot of good questions. Yeah, I hope I was able to answer your questions well enough. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.